Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Feedback Sports Pneuma CC floor bike pump. Feedback Sports' new Pneuma CC is a 2-in-1 floor pump that can be either used for standard tire inflation or to create a high pressure burst of air to seat tubeless bike tires. The pump itself combines a high quality anodized finish that Feedback Sports is known for, along with a concealed internal canister, so it can accomplish both normal inflation and high pressure inflation. Packaging wise, you can see it just comes with some paper protection to protect some of the more vital parts. We'll go ahead and take these off. We'll go over the specs. Retail price on this is $150. It has a 160 PSI maximum. And again, dual function, so you can do normal inflation or you could do a high pressure burst. It's constructed of anodized aluminum, so a really nice finish, just like all of the products. They also supply spare parts, so if you ever have an issue, you can always replace the part, so it's always serviceable. And it has an extra long hose, so it's 39.4 inches, and it has an oversized gauge, which makes it really easy to read. As far as what comes with it, you can see you get the pump itself, a little instruction pamphlet on there, and then there's a dual nozzle, which can work with Schrader, Presta, or Clik valves. Now let's take a quick look at the weight of the pump. It's anodized aluminum, and it doesn't feel too heavy, so pretty easy to carry. So you can see it's 4 pounds, or about 1,937 grams. Now let's take a look at the fit and finish of the Feedback Sports Pneuma pump. As you can see, it's a pretty large pump, the long barrel in the center, red anodized finished, with the bottom mounted gauge. Every pump is a little bit different. Sometimes they're on the bottom, sometimes they're in the middle, but this one they decided to put it on the bottom. You can see beautiful red anodized finish. That's one of the best parts of Feedback Sports. You can see with all their tools and then their repair stands, you have this nice finish on there that looks great and should last. Basic branding on here. And then you can see the rest of the pieces are just standard plastic. The coolest part about this though will be the actual gauge on here. So you can see big oversized gauge, goes all the way to 160. A nice high contrast finish too, so it's white on the background, bar in the middle, and then PSI on the outer portion. So very easy to read. It's also very large, again, 4 inches with this high contrast color, so you can definitely see it on the ground as you're inflating. The base is nice and stable too, so you can see it is just metal. And you can see some of the internal mechanisms behind it. But nice glossy finish, so it should be quite stable, so you can put your feet on here and hold it. The way this pump works is it's dual function, and you do it all with your foot. So it's pretty simple to use. If you want to pump it, you can see you pop it down to charge. And then once you're done, that'll release whatever charge is inside that internal canister, which probably takes up a small portion of this region. So easy to use with just foot operation. And when you're normally inflating it, you just leave it up like that and out of the way. Standard head design is actually a smart head, so you can see both Presta, Schrader, and Clik valves by default as they're compatible. So it's automatic, which is nice. You don't have to open this up and swap it. But they do sell the spare parts. That's the best part about Feedback Sports. If you ever have to replace the O-ring or anything, they have the parts. You can see simple locking mechanism, fairly ergonomic, and standard construction. You can see it's a very long hose as well. So this actually barely fits on here on the screen, but it's 39.4 inches, so you can definitely reach further. And you can see the little kink in here is to actually hold it in place on the top of the head. So you have a matching spot there, and then you also have the little slot here on the pump to hold it in place. The lever here is the other ergonomic point, which you're going to be touching a lot. Simple plastic, so not too fancy. And they actually have the additional parts here. So if you pull this out, which is pretty clever. So the needle and then the ball attachment adapters are installed right in here in the handle. So you don't have to place it on the side or lose it. The other side doesn't have anything. It would have been nice to see a little bit more of a fancy design. This is just plastic, but you can see it has a little rubber on there. And it's ergonomically shaped, so pretty easy to hold. Now let's take a look at some tubeless tire setup. Now our valve is a little bit short here, so you're going to see a leak a little bit. We have to actually hold it to get a little better inflation. But with the foot lever, it's very easy to use. So you can use your hands to inflate and then just push it up with your foot to charge it. So you can see dropping down to charge, and then you can see the nozzle fills up really quickly and get the maximum pressure in there and then get a really quick tubeless install. Inflation feels nice and smooth, the barrel's nice and soft, so the quality definitely feels like it's there. Then when you're ready to inflate, you can see you can drop it and hold it in there a little bit with our shorter valve. You can see it quickly inflates, and you hear the nice pop pop as the tubeless tire sets up on the edges. So that's always the annoying part with tubeless tires. The bead has to set up on the tire, so use a little bit soapy water, and then a high pressure pump like this with a quick inflation definitely helps a lot. So you can see it's pretty much all set up with the one go, which is really nice. So with most tubes or most pump setups, you kind of have to use compressed air or other methods, but this one works really well. And then when you want to go inflate it, you can just install it again and then use it. Here you can see some inflation. It feels really nice and smooth, so the barrel's nice and soft. It's still relatively new, so you might have to wait a year or two to see if that changes, but Feedback Sports always has really good quality, so I expect it always to feel good. And if you ever have to get replacement parts over time, it's very easy to do. You can see it inflates really quickly too, so high pressure. With that long barrel, you can go all the way up and down. It's very smooth, so for normal pressures, it's really quick. The big downside of this pump is it's really annoying to move, so with the full single barrel design, you can see the whole thing lifts up, so you really have to pull on the hose, or like I'm doing here, clip the hose in and then pull it over rather than just pulling on it. And that's one of the big usability things. It's something minor, but when you're inflating the tire, you usually have to go front to back, so it would have been nice if there was a holder. As far as a comparison, here we have the Topeak 2-stage, and right off the bat you can see the 2-stage doesn't look quite as nice, as more of a black and bronze finish, while the Feedback Sport has that red anodized finish that's very unique to them. The 2-stage is also designed for tubeless tires, but it has a 2-stage design with a nozzle or a little knob switch between 0 to 30 for high pressure and then 30 to 120 for normal inflation. The Feedback Sports has the foot lever, and then you can see the gauges are a little bit different. With the Feedback Sports, it's a bigger high contrast gauge on the bottom, while Topeak has it in the middle. So it really depends on design, but I think having it on the bottom works if you have the giant one, while having it in the middle is better if it's a little bit smaller like the Topeak one. So we definitely like the design on the Feedback Sports as far as the gauge. The nozzle itself feels a little bit fancier on the Topeak. You can see again bronze and plastic. It has a really cool feature where you can remove the valve core, and it's all contained. So you can remove the valve core, inflate, and then reinstall without having to remove it and losing all the air. Inflation wise, you can see it's nice and stable with the Topeak. And then you have a little indicator on the nozzle, which is convenient just to remember where to hit, while the Feedback Sports is also very stable and quick to inflate, with a little bit simpler of a nozzle design, but a bigger gauge and what feels like a higher flow rate, so you can definitely fill the tire a little bit faster. So I really do like the feel of the Feedback Sports, but the difference really comes down to little things. So you can see here, the nozzle or the mode switch on the Topeak is just kind of a dial design. And then the nice thing about Topeak, it's very easy to lift. You have a 2-piece barrel. With the Feedback Sports, it's actually all one piece, so the barrel is together. And you can see when you go to lift it, kind of come together. So that's kind of a minor usability thing. It's a little bit annoying with the Feedback Sports, and would be solved if they had some kind of holder or a full redesign with a different piece barrel. So here you can see you kind of have to remember everything comes together. So you have to really grab the hose. So just minor stuff like that. What we like about the pump is they have a nice premium feel with the red anodized finish, and also a large high contrast gauge. So it's really easy to see even though it's on the ground. It's 4 inches, big colors, big font. Also you have smooth action, so very easy to inflate your tires, whether you're doing the tubeless or standard tube setup. The main negative with the pump is the fact there is no bleed button, so if you overinflate, you have to remove the nozzle, mess with your valve, and then reattach. It would have been a really nice simple feature. It's also really difficult to move the pump around without pushing on the actual hose, because the whole thing, the barrel moves together, unlike most pumps, so it's kind of a usability thing. The easy way around it is really just pull against the hose, which always feels a little bit odd. Also, it does release a large puff of air when you remove it from the valve, and that's just a byproduct of this design. So you're not actually losing pressure, there's just a little bit extra air in the actual tubing, which you don't typically see with the other pumps. Taking everything into account, we'd give the pump an 8 out of 10. It's well made, but it has some minor usability issues that make it a little bit annoying for day-to-day use. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at sweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at The Sweet Cyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.